Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. We just gave a few minutes for a few people to add into the room. So I was just waiting, but we are starting now at 3 o'clock. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the session. Our range is powered by Tangible, a virtual guide for educators. And I hope that you all are excited for today's session. A little introduction from my side, although I'm sure I recognize a lot of the names that are in the session with us. So my name is Jamie Bester from the Cape Town Science Centre and coordinating the Reach Robotics eSkills and Coding Hubs. And this session today, we also have Jackson Shabalala, Mr. Shabalala from Lever Foundation, that will be conducting the session in training. Then we also have Mr. Ashrik Don from the WCED. I'll hand over to you, Ashrik, in just a second. But before I hand over to the rest of the organizers to do a little bit of their own introductions, I just wanted to give some ground rules for the session. The session is being recorded, and we have allowed you to put on your cameras. It's all up to you. The mics, we have muted everyone upon entry. So if any of the other participants, not a presenter, would like to say something or ask a question verbally, you would need to raise your hand. So the little raised hand icon, please raise your hand and then we can unmute you from our side and then you'll be able to speak. Otherwise, the chat box is also open for any questions. And I have myself and a co-host who will be able to answer some of the questions in the chats, but as well as anyone else that would like to answer there as well is also fine. Okay. That's all from my side. Oh, there was one last thing, sorry, the attendance register. I'm sure if you've entered earlier, you would have seen the shared screen with a little QR scan to scan and register. It is now in the chat, so you'll find the link to register your attendance for today's session. So please do so as well. Okay, that's all from my side. I think I'll hand over firstly to Ashrik if he wants to just greet very quickly, and then we'll move on. Over to you, Ash. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Good afternoon, colleagues, and I'm excited that we have this session up and running. I was looking forward to this session and the introduction of the famous Mr. Jackson Shabalala. That man is world famous. To have him presenting this overview of Tangible, and he's just not going to be about Rangers, but you're going to go a little bit more deeper into Rangers and a little bit extra nuggets they have to share, and then also touching on the Mandela Day. So first of all, thank you, colleagues. I know it's the first day of the term. Again, the term started was now again after a long holiday, and I hope everybody is ready. I'm going to hand over. Before I hand over, Jamie, thank you for organizing and coordinating from Cape Town Science Centre for you and your team. Then Mr. Jackson and Prof. Greiling, thank you for availing yourself to do the session in person, live, not face-to-face, but close to face-to-face to the Western Cape Education Department and beyond. And for my side, colleagues, enjoy the session.
Am I good to go? Okay, I guess I'm good to go. Yes. You made me shy there, man, Ashrik. I came here with a lot of confidence, and now you're saying a dark-skinned person blush. That shouldn't happen. But it's great to be here. Thank you so much for inviting us. Of course, I think Professor Jean Greiling will be joining soon if he can. He is in another meeting currently. But as Ashrik mentioned, I'll be running today's session. And I think it's just good to give a brief background of who I am, what role I play at Tangible, and what we're going to be doing today, which is going to be a lot of fun. And also, I've thanked Ashrik, I think I've thanked Jamie, and I just want to thank all the teachers for coming after a long day of work. It is now after 3, and you're still here. We're going to make it as fun as possible, and I'm not going to keep you here until after 4:30, so you can go make sure that Unur is ready for supper. So my name is Jackson. I am from Gqeberha, newly in the Western Cape. I've recently moved to Cape Town, which is amazing. Apparently, you guys have a charm that can't be escaped. And I work for Tangible as the engagement manager. And my role is really to engage with different stakeholders, from teachers to sponsors and funders across the world with this project that we're doing. And it's really been a joy. I'm a graduate at Nelson Mandela University, and then I'm currently doing my master's at Henley Business School. So I have a little bit of education here. I'm more of a joker than an academic, but it's great to be here. And I hope you have fun. Please feel free at any point in the session to raise your hand to ask a question or to put any questions you have in the comment section. I see there's a Q&A there. I'll be able to have a look at it probably at the end of the session. But really, what I want to happen today, a lot of fun. If you had no idea what coding is or how you would actually implement coding in your classroom, I hope by the end of the session, you'll have at least a first foot forward to place. So without further ado, they say in some of these circles that all protocol is observed. I'm hoping that's relevant here. But I'm going to share my slide right now, and we'll get into the day's training session. Here we go. We go to slideshow. Just need to move this out of the way. Can I get a thumbs up that my screen is present? Everyone, there we go. Lovely thumbs up. Oh, so you are listening. This is great. You know, when you don't see people's faces, you never know. Just talking into a screen. So you've met me. You know a little bit about what I do. And now I'm going to introduce you to Tangible. What is it that we are wanting to do? And those coding kits that you have in front of you, what have they done? And what do we look forward to? So we are Tangible, and our whole goal is to demystify coding. Demystify coding to teachers, demystify it to learners, to all different stakeholders, because the world is more digital, and we need to make sure that these learners can be ready for a career one day that allows them to have any opportunity they want. So we want to expand the career dreams of learners. You'll see a little bit of Nelson Mandela memorabilia, imagery, branding here and there, because we are from the Nelson Mandela University, and this was learners playing at the university. So you see his famous shirt over there. But before I get into detail of what it is that we do, I want you to know why we do it. And maybe this is something you can explain to your learners as well, or to other stakeholders who ask about coding. Firstly, we think that traditional teaching is missing out on those problem solving and computational thinking concepts that will become critical as we go into this digital era. As well as we want students to have tools that they can engage with, that allows them to be a bit more innovative and think outside of the box. And we here in the picture, these are some learners in Ireland, and they playing our game, and even Lego, they mixing it up, and there's so many coding resources that can be used unplugged and plugged. And we pride ourselves by saying there's no need for computers, no need for internet. If you have a mobile device and the puzzle pieces, you can participate in our project. And lastly, and I think this is very important, our learners have to play in teams. So you don't play by yourself. As you can see, the young learners there are communicating, they're looking at the problem together, because that's how the world of work works. A global economy demands that you collaborate and you are able to adapt to ever-changing times. So that's just the context of what's happening around the world we're in and why we do what we do. So what is it specifically that we do? We demystify the concept of coding. Our first step when it comes to demystifying the concept of coding is by actually defining it in its simplest terms. So we define coding as a list of instructions that tell a computer what to do. List of instructions tell a computer what to do. Learners follow instructions every day, whether they're at school or whether they're at home. So that already gives them an idea of what's happening. Stand up, go there, come here. Those are just a list of instructions. And the learner, in this case, is the computer because they're being told what to do. Take out your books, etc. So those are examples you could use. And then we gamify the process because we believe gamification makes learning fun. Fun learning is easy to remember. Anytime you have a great experience, your memory can catch that even better. And then what we use to gamify this are physical tokens, which you have. I'm hoping they've been distributed to the people on this call, and our digital mobile app. Today we'll be using Ranges. So for those who don't have it yet, on your app store, whether it's Android or Apple, you can get Ranges powered by Tangible, and then you'll be able to play the game. To download it, you will need, of course, access to the internet, but once you have it, it doesn't use your data. It's very small. You'll have more than enough space for all your other great pictures and apps that you play and use for fun. Here on the side pictures, those are learners who are visually impaired and some are blind. And we've actually taken our tokens and made them braille and 3D printed with the levels because it's all about inclusivity, making sure we leave no learner behind. So no computers, no internet, schools, even in rural or disconnected communities can participate. And there's a one for visually impaired and blind learners, making sure those learners aren't left behind. So in a nutshell, that's Tangible, and you now have seen the context in which we work. And if there's any of these things that you are interested in after this, please feel free to contact me. LinkedIn is Jackson Chabalala. You can just send me a message and say, hey, I know some people will be really, really interested in this community development or whatever. We are keen to support as many people as possible. So we are finally in 2025. We've been saying this since 2015. What skills are needed right now? Learners need to be able to think analytically. Can they keep on learning? Can they learn actively instead of passively? Can they seek out information? Critical thinking and problem solving, very, very important. And the reason we put coding at the end there, we like to say that you can have all the coding skills that you need. You can learn JavaScript, you can learn Python, all these coding languages. You could have 10 million computers and storage. But if you can't solve a problem, if you can't think creatively or analyze and use logic, as much of coding as you know, you're not going to be able to get anything valuable out of it. So we just think of every app that we use on a daily basis. You go to WhatsApp. The idea behind WhatsApp is not, open bracket 108 what code dash close bracket, etc. The idea is people need to communicate. How can we make sure that people communicate in a safe platform so that their data is protected? How can we make sure that it is accessible via data instead of airtime because airtime is more expensive? What kind of phones can we put it in? So once you have that problem-solving, analytical thinking process happening, you then use the knowledge and skills you have to code to build that. So we like to make an example of an ATM. When you go to an ATM and you put your card in, it asks for your PIN. Had you gone to an ATM and you could just put your card in and all your funds were available and accessible to whoever has your PIN, that wouldn't be a safe bank and they probably wouldn't have a lot of customers. But if someone can think of, okay, we need to make sure that there's encryption in this thing, that there's cybersecurity for online banking, etc. Those are all the other skills that go into coding. So when you are thinking in your classroom about coding, you're just teaching your learners to communicate, to solve problems, to be creative, and then it's layered. That is a foundation for teaching coding. I hope that makes sense, and that it takes away that it's all about numbers and letters and Python and JavaScript, etc., etc. To that point, what we do in the classroom is we're always making sure the learners are playing and having fun, and there's real life examples of what coding would look like. So when it comes to a session, we would let learners know hopscotch. How does hopscotch work? So games that they played as kids. They're currently kids now, but even you as a teacher, some of the games you played as kids, you were doing coding, even if it wasn't that obvious. Twister, about getting left foot to red circle, right hand to yellow circle, etc. That's an instruction given and it's followed by a person. And of course, we love to play Simon Says in a class, always gets learners excited. It lets them break out of their shell if they're a bit nervous or scared. And they follow the instructions of Simon Says. Simon says clap once. Simon says touch your head. Simon says turn around. And they follow all those instructions. And we illustrate that they are the computer and we are the person giving the code. So those are just some suggestions of ways you can do icebreakers or get your class ready for that session. All right. So now we get to the first part of what it is that we are learning today. So we started off with why we teach unplugged coding, to ensure that there's accessibility for learners from any background. Secondly, it has to be fun. Learners have to play a game. And what we start with here is the idea and concept of computational thinking. So computational thinking is something that came from the computer sciences discipline, really regarding like how humans can break down problems, find patterns, and actually come up with steps to solve those problems. And these are the 4 key concepts we are going to be looking at today. So I think I have to go back to the window to share the screen. So this is where we're going to start engaging. I don't know if the comments section is open, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain the 4 key concepts of computational thinking for you. I would suggest you take a picture of this screen or you write it down just to remember these 4 key concepts. Because the following slides, I'm going to ask which concept is most at play in a specific scenario. So please, some time to just take a picture or note down as I explain. So for computational thinking, the first part, and these aren't linear, but the first thing I'll explain is that you have to use decomposition. A key concept of computational thinking is decomposition, and it's all about simplifying a problem by taking a big problem and breaking it down into smaller parts, the composites of a problem. So you decompose it to break it down into smaller parts. You know how they say you eat an elephant? You don't eat an elephant, but if you were, it would be bite-sized, 1 bite at a time. So that's the first part. Secondly, we have pattern recognition. Now, these problems are in smaller parts. You find similarities amongst the problems at hand. So it's about looking for what's the same in these problems. So it's very important to distinguish this from patterns of shapes and sizes, but it's all about finding similarities or similar issues that are being faced. Then we have abstraction. Abstraction is only focus on those things that matter. What is the important information? All the additional extra things, ignore those. This is the issue that I have all the time. I'm still learning how to abstract because apparently I have attention ADD, and ADD stands for attention deficit. Oh, what's that over there? The nice thing about making jokes here in a muted crowd, you can't tell if people are laughing or not. So I'm just going to be positive about how amazing my humor is, even for those who are watching the recording. And then lastly is about creating a step-by-step process to solve a problem, and that's algorithm. So this is what I'm going to do first. This is what I'm going to do second. This is what I'm going to do third. So firstly, you have decomposition. Big problem, smaller parts. You have pattern recognition. What are these things that are the same, similarities in all the problems? Abstraction, only focus on what matters, ignore all the extra stuff. And lastly, algorithm, step-by-step process. What am I doing first? What am I doing second? What am I doing third? Can I get a thumbs up to see that everyone understands the computational thinking 4 key concepts? I'm seeing a bunch of thumbs ups. This is great. If you go on Google, you'll find computational thinking 7 key concepts, 8 key concepts, 9 key concepts, 2 key concepts. These are the 4 we focus on, and we think these are especially relevant for young learners. Okay, now you have this as a screenshot. You understand all of these things. I'm going to now give you a scenario. And in the scenario, I'm going to ask, which is the computational thinking concept most at play or most evident or most critical for that scenario? The way computational thinking happens, they don't happen in isolation. They all happen at the same time. But I want you to look for that one that is the key computational thinking concept. So we'll go first. You are planning a vacation. You just come from vacation, so maybe you might remember. So in planning a vacation and all these other things, what is the computational thinking key concept most at play in this example? I'll give you 20 seconds to put on the comments which one do you think is most at play. Let me put actually a timer here so that no one is like, that's unfair. You all got 20 seconds, starting 50 seconds now. There we go. That's the timer. So the key computational thinking concept here was decomposition. Yay to those who got it right. Ah, shame to those who didn't get it right. Maybe next time. This is not the last scenario. So some of you might be asking questions. Some of you might be asking, Jackson, why wasn't it algorithm? Why is it decomposition? So the reason it's not algorithm is because algorithm focuses on a step-by-step process. I understand some people might say, oh, you can't pack a suitcase before reserving a hotel. And sometimes I have to have these conversations, especially in a live session, because people are talking and everyone's arguing, and it's so much fun. I love it when people don't get along. No, let me not say it like that. I love it when people constructively debate an important point. But some of the times, people will say that you can't go for medical checkup if you haven't booked a ticket. Maybe that's not logical. But is it possible? Yes, of course it's possible. If I wanted to go to a medical checkup right now, I could go, and then I could go book my ticket later. Or if I wanted to reserve a hotel last, I could pack my suitcase, I could book tickets and reserve a hotel. So what you've done is you have this big problem, which is called planning a vacation. And you've broken it down into smaller parts. Now you can say, actually, I'm not going far away from my vacation. I'm just going to Stellenbosch or Paarl or maybe Knysna. So I don't really need to go for a medical checkup. So I can abstract that. But the first part is you have a big problem planning a vacation. You've decomposed it into its smaller parts. Okay, some of you might be frustrated that you didn't get it right and you want another chance. You're like, Jackson, come on, man. I got to make it up. I can't end like this. I can't go down with a loss. You have another opportunity just because I'm such a great guy. Second scenario. A beaver wants to buy a birdhouse for her daughter's birthday. Don't ask me why beavers are buying birdhouses. This is what we have going on over here. And the question is not which birdhouse should her mom buy, but the question is in selecting a birdhouse. Her daughter says, I'd like a birdhouse with 2 windows and a heart. Which computational thinking key concept is most at play? And you have 10 seconds starting now. Put in the comments which computational thinking key concept comes most at play when Momsy is thinking, actually, yeah, of buying a birdhouse. Up. Time's up. 5 extra seconds for those who are hesitating a little bit. Okay, here comes a drum roll. Which one is it? It is abstraction. Woo! For those who got it right. Sad for those who got it wrong. If you have 0 out of 2, that can't be on me, right? Okay, some of you are asking me the very, very important question. Why is it not pattern recognition? The reason it's not pattern recognition is pattern recognition is all about seeing similarities of problems. The reason it's abstraction is because the process the beaver goes through is having to find 2 windows and a heart, and if that doesn't exist, it's not the one you select. So they'll go through the first one, 1 window, no 2 windows. Don't even have to think further. Go further. Yeah, 2 windows, yes, no heart. So 2 windows and a heart. We found the house, let's buy it. They don't even have to cross. You don't even have to look at the last option. You have abstracted. You've only focused on what matters. 2 windows and a heart. This is practical in real life because you knew you wanted to go buy yourself a nice pair of blue jeans. And then you got there and you saw nice chinos, you saw tights, you saw trainers, and you saw dress. And now you're like, now you're spending 3 hours in the mall instead of going to get your jeans and leaving. So that's just a fun example, but there's many times where they call it option paralysis or the inability to make a decision because there's too many options. So abstraction lets you know what to go for. Okay, because I'm such a nice guy, I'm going to give you one last try. One last try, and this is how it looks. Draw a straight line, turn 90 degrees to the right. Draw a straight line, turn 90 degrees to the right. Draw a straight line, turn 90 degrees to the right. Draw a straight line, turn 90 degrees to the right. The square, as you can see, it's a square, is also important in this regard. 5 seconds. Which computational, okay, I'll give you 7 seconds. 7 is my lucky number. Which computational thinking key concept is most at play here? Starting, bam. Geez, 7 seconds goes quick when you're having fun. All right. Hope all your answers. I can't even see the comments, by the way, just for those who are wondering. I'm just assuming you're commenting. It would be so funny if there are no comments by the time I end this presentation. Okay, but that doesn't matter. The current.
Sorry, Jackson, must I give you the answers?
No. Oh, yes, that would be nice for this last one. For this last one would be nice, but you don't have
For
to.
this last one.
Yeah.
Okay, for the last one, we do have 4 people saying algorithm.
All right, and no one said anything else.
No other one.
Okay, perfect. That means we have 4 people that were right. Well done. It's algorithm. Thank you so much for that, Jamie. I'm glad at least there are some responses. And for those who say pattern recognition, you would also be right. So this was what I was explaining earlier. All the computational thinking and key concepts are happening so quicker than we can even blink. So here, you've been given a step-by-step process. Draw a straight line, turn 90 degrees to the right. You've been able to do this 4 times, that's your step-by-step, that's the algorithm. But you realize, draw a straight line, turn 90 degrees to the right, that's the first. Draw a straight line, turn 90 degrees to the right, that's the second, third, fourth. So you're repeating the same sequence 4 times. And once you recognize a pattern, you can always repeat. Hope you had fun. I hope this made sense. And you can see how computational thinking is used in the real world. So this was just some of our icebreakers, some of what we are doing and what the thinking of your learners will become after this. But now we're about to get into the real meat of the business, the meat of why we are meeting today. And that is our ranges game. So I'll give it about 2 minutes and for you to set yourself up. My understanding is that you have received the game packs or the coding kits. And by now, I'm hoping you have the Ranges app on your device. If not, you have a minute to download those. So in your coding kit, if you open, you'll see that you have a game pack. If you open that game pack, you'll see that you have tangible tokens or puzzle pieces, our coding puzzle pieces. What I'm going to ask for you to do is take all of those puzzle pieces out of your game pack. That's what is going to work as your list of instructions. So get them all out. And then I want you to, computational thinking, right? We're going to do abstraction. I want you to take all of the puzzle pieces that are direction, movement puzzle pieces, and put them on one side, as well as your action and start puzzle pieces. So by direction, I mean by direction, I mean right and left. So find all your left puzzle pieces or your turn right puzzle pieces. By movement, I mean backward and forward. So find all your move backward puzzle pieces and find all your move forward puzzle pieces. And then you have a start and you have an action puzzle. So every time you see shoot in the slide, we've changed it to action because we don't want to reinforce shooting in the current political world we're living in when it comes to international relations. I hope that part's not recorded, but yeah, joking, teasing. So what you will find is you have 3 forwards, 3 backwards, 3 lefts, 3 rights, 2 actions, and 1 start. All the other puzzles that are repeat, if, while, if it's a number, put that aside. You're not going to use that until we get to level 10. So from level 1 to 9, you need move forward, move backward, turn left, turn right, start, and the 2 action puzzle pieces. Next, on ranges, let's get into our app. So you have your Ranges app. Where's my Ranges app? So you have your Ranges app over there, and then you want to go into play. Then you've gone into play, and then get into level 1 so we can start chatting about what it actually is part of the game. So just some background while those are getting into level, while some are getting into level 1. With different games, of course, the part of the game is there's a challenge that must be met, and you meet this challenge by assembling the tokens. Our game Ranges is all about a poacher's trying to get to a rhino. You are the ranger. So you want to catch the poacher before the poacher gets into the rhino. So if you're looking at this picture on my screen, you are this vehicle. You are this ranger. This is the back. You see the tire, that's the back of your vehicle. This is the front. You're trying to catch this poacher. The poacher is the man dressed in black. Not the black man, the man dressed in black. We don't know he's an incognito man. and then we want to move towards him. So here, for example, you would turn right, you'd move forward, you'd turn left, you'd move forward until you get to this square, turn left, and then action to catch him. You can't catch him if there's a barrier between you and the poacher. You have to move to a point where you are facing the poacher. Very important to note, as long as you are facing the poacher and there's nothing between yourself and the poacher, you can action. Whether the poacher is at the block right in front of you or 5 blocks ahead, as long as there's nothing between you and the poacher, you can action. The net will go all the way to catch the poacher. And then the poacher, every time, if there's a red line, every time you move, the poacher will move closer to the rhino. So those are just some things you need to know about the game. So let's all get to level 1. And if you get to level 1, you will notice that you are facing the poacher. And then before you can start coding, you always need to use your start puzzle piece. That's how you open up the code. It won't work without the start. And then you need to attach whatever instruction you want to give from the start, and then you can attach it. It's like reading left to right. So you're first going to put start, and you can see you're facing the poacher. So your first instruction will be action. You'll catch the poacher immediately. You don't move to the same block as the poacher. That's the one. That will be your instruction. Assemble that to the start. And then on your device, on the game, you have a camera icon. You'll use the camera icon. It opens up your camera. Please say yes when it asks for permissions. And then that's my face, but it opens up your camera so that you can scan the code. Please scan the code. It will ask, do your tokens look like this? There we go. Jamie is showing us. If your tokens look like that, you press yes. If it's missed anything, you say no and you try to scan again. Sometimes you might have to scan from a higher vantage point to see if it works. Have you caught your poacher, Jamie? So if you've caught your poacher, well done. You've done the first part right. So now I need to go have some tea because it's almost 4 o'clock. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to see if you can get to level 9. I'm not really going to have tea. I'll be here. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. But yes, let's see if you can get to level 9. And I'll switch off my screen for a little bit so that I can see comments, and anyone who needs help, I'll be here to help. All right, perfect. The question is, if I need another forward block, can I use a repeat block, especially for those on level 7? You're not allowed to use a repeat block. You can't use any other blocks except for forward, backward, left, right, action, and start. So if you are out of forwards, what is a potential solution? This is where we get a little creative. I love the reaction.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to answer one question in the chat. I see Bulelo, are you asking for some assistance here? We're currently busy with the Rangers, the Powered by Tangible game, the kit, if you remember. And we're just running through levels 1 through 9. So if you can, if you still have the app from our other session, or if not from your Play Store, you can download it. Just search Powered Rangers Powered by Tangible, and the app should come up. And once you start, there'll be levels, and you can just click through each level. But I'm not sure now if I can give you a crash course right now. Or perhaps we will. Jackson, will you still explain a little bit more about how the game works? Or
Yes,
is that
so I'll be able to explain a little more. Let's give
a
everyone
few
maybe,
minutes?
yeah, just a few minutes because once level 9 is completed, I'll just do a rehashing of the
Yes.
game, and then I'll give the over level 9, what do we do for those who
Okay.
are looking at that repeat puzzle.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So, Bulelwe, for now, you can just open up your app, get out all your tokens, and lay them out in front of you.
I see
Thank you.
Lee's instruction is take from the other tokens. No,
Yes.
Lee, no, you're only of those 3. Okay, so Jane Claire is saying, any relation?
Yes, we twins.
Yes. Jane
Okay.
Clay is the co-host for me, and she's also my twin. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
That's where the relation is. Yes.
All right, that's a really, really real relation. Okay, so for those stuck on level 7, most people get stuck on level 7 except if you're 12 years old. So under 15, no offense, but under 15, you would get stuck at level 7. So I'm sorry to interrupt or pause to those who haven't got to level 7 yet, but I think it's worthwhile just looking at level 7. So I'm just going to take out my device. I'm going to unblur my screen so you can see my screen well. Oop, I have to take a picture. So if we go into level 7, is that visible? So what people are stuck on, what they want to do is they want to go forward, and then they want to turn right, and then they want to go forward 3 times and then turn right. But you only have 3 forwards. So something you can do, if you don't have forward, let's just play a mental game. You have not forward, but backwards. So if you need to turn right in order to keep on going forward, you need to turn which direction to go backward? Now, I hope that's enough of a hint, and let's see how that will go. So use all your puzzles that you have. One more minute, and then you got to see my face again. I know, Lee. I know. I thought maybe let me just pull your leg as well. Nice. All right, I'm here to mess up your fun. I'm so sorry. I can imagine how much you're enjoying yourselves, but we only have 30 minutes left. And as I promised, I don't want to keep you here after that time. Delft is Annie Brandt. Oh, Delft. That's hilarious. Okay, so just as a sign with your hands or thumbs up, who hasn't at least managed to finish level 8? Then I can go down level 8. Has everyone completed level 8? Thumbs up. Okay, Jamie, because Jamie is doing 10 million things. Oh, you just wanted to say something. Okay, so Johan. All right. So most people have been able to finish level 8. That's some good news. So for those who haven't been able to go past level 8, I'm going to show you how we would do that. And then we're going to go to the next part of our training where we have to now use our conditional statements. That's the repeat and the while. And then we're going to be done. Speak a little bit about Mandela Day and what we're looking forward to there. So if you're looking at level 8 now, you're going to use the same trick that you used for 7 because you don't have enough forward. So it's either you move forward, turn left, move forward once, turn left, move backward once, turn right, move forward twice, turn left, and action. Or you could move forward once, turn right, move forward once, turn right, move backwards twice, turn right, and action. So there are many ways to solve a problem, but ensure you know how to turn, where to turn, and how many moves to make. So we find this a lot of times teachers are exposed that maybe your lefts and rights aren't something that come immediately to you when you're looking at a screen. So that's just level 8. And level 9 is pretty simple. Level 9 looks complicated because you think about the rhino. But the point of the game for you is to catch the poacher. So you have to abstract where the rhino is and just make sure you can catch the poacher. So that's 2 move forwards, turn right, 2 move backwards, turn left, action, and then you would have caught the poacher. Now, let us go to level 10. I hope I've given you enough time, because if you've opened level 8, level 10 is accessible. Level 12 is accessible to you. That's why level 12 is going to be what we're going to focus on. Thumbs up. Did you enjoy that? For everyone who got to play, did you have a fun time? You can imagine in the classroom how much fun your learners would have. So I'm going to share my screen again because we're going to do a second part, only 30 more minutes, and then we're done for the day. You don't have to hear much of my voice much longer. Okay. Now we're going to look. Someone showed a heart reaction when I said you don't have to hear my voice. I don't know how to feel about that, but that's fine. So now we're going to go to the repeat. So in your set of puzzles, please find your repeat puzzles. You must have 2 of them. I'm sure you have 2 of them. Then you have a bunch of numbers. Find those numbers as well. Then we're going to do comments soon again. So when we're looking at, sorry, I just want to stop sharing. I want to make sure I have the right slides here. There might be, okay, no, perfect. That was the perfect slide. Nothing's missing. Let me share again. Here we go. So I want us to look at this little activity that we use sometimes. And I want you to imagine that this grid is blank, completely blank. None of these turquoise blocks are colored in. And the request becomes from the top left to the bottom right. Use code to color it in, and your code can be left, right, up, down, and color. And then you start at the top left. So what you would do here in the top left, your first instruction would be to color. And that's the one will go turquoise. And then you can go right, down, or down and right. So you say color, down, right, color. Down, right, color, down, right, color, down, right, color. And then you would have colored all the turquoise boxes. What we check for here, you don't want someone to say color, down, right, color, right, down, color, down, right, color, right, down, color. The reason for that is it's so much simpler to say color down, right, color down, right, color down, right because of repetition. We want to make sure that we bring in that pattern recognition part. And this is where the repeat comes in. When you look at traditional coding, you'll see that color down right is repeated 4 times. So what you would do in a code is you'd say, hey, computer, I want to repeat this thing. So you'd say repeat, and then you'd ask loop, it would loop. How many times do you want to repeat this thing? You'd say 4 times. And then you'd ask, okay, what is this thing that you want to repeat? You want to repeat color down right. Here for our code, we'll say CDR. Then it ends. Then you close that repeat so that it repeats 4 times. So what we'll do is we'll say color down right 1, color down right 2, color down right 3, color down right 4. So your last instruction is right. So at this point, this last block square is not colored. So you need to put in an end so that you can color it again. So your code is color down right 4 times, close it, and then you color at the end. So with that being said, we look at tangible now. If you're looking at this code, you have a repeat puzzle. Then your repeat puzzle, you always put when you're ready to repeat, and whatever you want to repeat will be above the repeat puzzle, like just on top of the repeat puzzle. Not physically on top, like away, like above. I'll show you guys now. And then the number of times you want to repeat will be beneath, not under. Yes, beneath. That's good. So you're saying I want to repeat forward 3 times, and then your ranger will move forward. Here, if you look at this code, so you see you have your start, you have your repeat. What are you repeating? Forward, forward. How many times? 3 times. This means your repeat will move forward. I mean, your ranger will move forward 6 times because it's going to go forward, forward once, forward, forward twice, forward, forward 3 times. So that's how many times your ranger would move forward. So when we go into level 10, which we can go to all together now, you will see that you do not have enough forward tokens, and your vehicle ranger needs to move forward 5 times. Once it's moved forward 5 times, it needs to turn right, and it needs to action. So for this example, I'll actually show you how we do that. So you say start, and then you already know the first thing you want to do is repeat. So you'll attach your repeat to your start. What are you repeating? What's your first instruction? I want to repeat forward 5 times. Then you'll attach your forward on top above the repeat, and then you attach your 5 times beneath the repeat. Even the puzzle pieces, you'll see that the puzzle pieces click on with what is necessary. The times puzzles don't click on this semicircle. They click on the little angular thing below the repeat. And then next to the repeat, you attach write, and next to that write, you attach action, and then scan that code. You should be able to catch the poacher. Success? All right. So if you got that successfully, you understand the basics of using the repeat. We're not playing anymore. We're just going to do some heavy training. I'm hoping that your brains are working. Can we please go to level 12? You now understand the repeat. Let's go to level 12. And then I'd like you to find the while puzzle piece. You have a while puzzle piece. And then there are two conditions that go with the while. There's a path clear puzzle piece, and there's a blocked puzzle piece. So find the path clear, find the blocked, and those are the puzzle pieces that go with that. So you have your repeat, and now you've got your while. So if you're to look at level 12, your instant solution would be move the ranger forward 3 times. So you'll repeat forward 3 times, and then you'll turn right. And then you'll repeat forward 4 times, and then you'll turn right, and then you'll action. We're not doing that now. That's just how you would do it using the repeat. We're going to use this to learn how to use the while. Now, the while is a condition that is saying while certain conditions are true or while a certain condition exists, this is what should happen. So in the game, we have while path is clear. So if you look at level 12, how this practically works is you say start. In your head, you know, while the path is clear, your ranger can move forward, and then it will end here. And then it will turn right. But now if you're looking at patterns, when it's facing right, it can move forward again if the path is clear, while the path is clear, and then turn right. And then while the path is clear, it can move forward again, and then turn right. And then you will need to action. I know we don't have a lot of time. Usually we have half a day for this, so I'm not going to keep you guys in suspense. This is how you would look at solving this code. You'd have your while statement, but you'd have to multiply it by 3 times, because what you want to say is while path is clear, move forward, turn right once. While path is clear, move forward, turn right twice. While path is clear, move forward, turn right 3 times. So I'm going to just exit I still want to share, but I don't want to share it as a PowerPoint. I mean, as a slideshow. I want to share it as me working on it. You can see my screen still. So here, I want to say start. All right, there we have start. And then I want to repeat this while. So I'll take my repeat puzzle, because this whole while gets me to the first part, but I want it to get me there. So I'll say repeat. What am I repeating? A while. So the while has to come above the repeat. Oopsie. The while has to go there. So remember, it's asking here, what is your condition for the while? Well, while my path is clear, so I've added there, I have to move forward. Now, it would be easy for me to think forward must be there, but here's where the while actually is. So I need to place my forward here, because it says while path clear, move forward. And then I want to add my turn right about here next to the while. And I want this entire instruction repeated 3 times. So this is what you're saying to the computer. Start. Repeat. What am I repeating? You're repeating while. While what? While path is clear. What must happen while the path is clear? Move forward. Then I'm going to move forward. So now I'm stuck here. The path is not clear. Turn right. And then I turn right. And then it will repeat it one more time. While path is clear, move forward, turn right. Then it's going to repeat it the last time. While path is clear, move forward, turn right. And then I will be facing the poacher. And the only thing left to do is action, which will be next to the repeat. And then you would have caught the poacher. I know it's a lot to take in. I hope it makes sense. What we can do, Jamie, is I can share this whole slide presentation with you so they can have a look at it again, because it could be easy to grasp now, but then when I'm not around, it can be an issue. But I hope this makes sense. So you have your repeat, you have your while, and if you scan this, so just as the last instruction for the day, assemble this code, scan level 12, and tell me if it works. That's for everyone. You can tell me in the comment section if it doesn't work. We're going to solve it before we end the day. So by the time you understand the while and if you understand the repeat, your learners will do the rest for you. They'll get the game. Did the code work? Perfect. Okay, so some principles. I'm going to rush through these ones. Don't worry, you're going to get these slides. I'm sure Jamie is going to make that happen. Is that sometimes you have an extended body. You have to go forward, 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 right. Forward, 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 right. Forward, 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 right. Sometimes people would say, repeat forward 3 times and then right. But that's not what you're repeating. Because what you are repeating is forward, forward, forward. You need 3 forwards. And you need to turn right, and then forward, forward, forward. So you have something called an extended body. Yes, it looks long, but you're saying repeat. What am I repeating? Forward, 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 turn right. This is going to happen 3 times. Action, catch the poacher. And then lastly, and this is where you can be like, why did I even start this thing? You have something called a nested loop. Nested loop is a repeat inside of a repeat, or a repeat on top of a repeat. So if you look at this level 21, I know none of you have it open in your phones. That's why we have it over here. You have to turn left. You have to move forward twice. You have to turn right. You have to move forward 3 times. Turn left, move forward twice. Turn right, move forward 3 times. So if we break it down, this first part, you turn left, move forward twice. When you hear again, you turn left, move forward twice. When you hear again, you turn left, move forward twice. There's a pattern. So you know, okay, I need to use repeat. When you hear on top, you turn right, move forward 3 times. You turn right, move forward 3 times. You move forward 3 times. So what you have first initially is your first repeat. Left, forward, forward, right. And then on top of that, you have another repeat, which is forward 3 times. So it'll go left, forward, forward, right, forward, 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 left, forward, forward, right, forward, 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 etc., etc. And so the game goes. And when you're using our game, you'll see here computational thinking concepts. These little bushes or whatever you call this on the side, they don't matter. So you abstract those. Don't even think about them. That's abstraction. And then you know you have to get to the poacher, but the only way you can do it is by going forward, forward, right. Forward, forward, right. You are solving each instruction one bite size at a time. So you know you need forward. You need another forward. So you're decomposing the whole problem. So once you've done that, you realize, oh, I move forward 3 times and I turn right. And I do that 3 times. You've recognized that there's a pattern. So you've done the pattern recognition, and then you have to put the puzzle pieces together. And once you put the puzzle pieces together, that is your algorithm. So, yep. And then afterwards, you play until level 30 and see how it goes. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed that, especially that last part can get a little bit demanding on the brain. But the last little bit of information I have for you, Ashrik would have brought this up when he was just introducing it, is that we have learners playing all over the world. I promise you, we have learners right now in Germany, Indonesia, South Korea, America, England. We're going to South America soon. Next week, I'll be in Brazil and Uruguay introducing it to learners there. So the relevance of this game has been able to be multiplied globally. It's not just because we're also in Kenya, Ghana, Uganda. It's not just African countries that are enjoying this and saying, oh, okay, we can provide to Africa. But the level of what you've experienced it now, but what the learners learn is something that globally is in demand. It's been developed at Nelson Mandela University by Professor Jean Kreiling. He has over 30 years experience in coding education. He's the head of department for the computer sciences at Nelson Mandela University. He's got a PhD in this kind of stuff. So this is really a great opportunity for your learners to engage with something freely available to them, and then preparing teachers for the coding and robotics curriculum. So the last slide I will share, last screen sharing I will do is of our website. Let me just make sure I open the right thing instead of opening my emails. And then you see I have 150 things in my inbox and I'm getting shouted at here by someone. I have to keep my brand. I have to look like I'm serious about life. So is this visible? You will leave me now, but we're not going to leave you alone. Should you want to know more about us, on Google, let me just open a new Google page. You can literally search Tangible Africa. Worked so hard to make sure that we're the first ones to pop up. And then you're going to get into our website, and this will give you more about what we're doing. So this, as I said, children in Ghana, Germany, Italy, all over the world, they're playing our game. It will give you more detail, etc., the things that you need to learn. Where I want to send you is our news feed. So if you go to our news feed, you'll find that there is an article for Coding for Mandela. Annually, we have a Coding for Mandela tournament. In 2023, we had 16,000 learners participate across the continent, and we had a lot of learners through the library network in Cape Town and the schools in Cape Town participate. And in 2024, we had 32,000 learners. We doubled these numbers because teachers, such as yourselves, took ownership and ran Coding for Mandela at their schools. So if you go in here now in the article will tell you a little bit about Coding for Mandela. And then there's the registration. This is a very important part. If you are interested, it's not a commitment. It's saying, hey, I'm interested to find out about Coding for Mandela and have my learners participate in this tournament, which will involve, if your learners do well, more tournaments, especially versus learners in Germany, England. We have a World Cup. We have a Coding World Cup with the top teams in South Africa. We bring them together with teams from across the world and they participate. So you can show interest there. I think it's worth saying that we have incentives to the value of 50,000 Rand. That's up for grabs. And there are 3 ways you can participate in Coding for Mandela, either by playing the game, the tournaments. We have a game called Juicy Gems, very similar to Ranges, but just same puzzles, same movement, just a different theme. We have interactive activities for foundation phase schools. And then we also have Coding for Mandela dance, that learners do. So all of that information is here. And if you register, our coordinators will get in touch with you and see how best you can get involved on the day. And we are having another meeting this week for those who are going to be part of Coding for Mandela. So please, if you're interested, register on here, find out more about us. And then lastly, for those teachers who are thinking about the coding and robotics curriculum that's been gazetted and will be coming out next year, we've launched our teacher support. So here on WhatsApp, we have weekly lesson plans aligned to the curriculum that are free and available to teachers. And some of our other courses are accredited by SACE. You can get 5 SACE points. That's in the teacher training for coding and algorithms and design thinking. Sorry that I had to speak so fast. Get on our Tangible Africa website. All the information is there. You can get my email from Jamie. You can email me directly and find out more about us. Thank you so much for attending, everyone. And yes, I think I'm going to give you 5 minutes to close it off, Jamie. That's the best I could do.
Wow, that's very good. Your timing is on point. But yes, I just wanted to also just encourage the teachers as well to visit your website. I think that's also very important that they reach out. And if you are interested and you would like to register your learners, please do so. Thank you, Jackson, for a very jam-packed session. I feel like I even learned a lot as well, and I will be trying the next levels. Like Jackson says, guys, if anyone wants to get into contact with him and you need his details, if you can't find it on his website or his LinkedIn, you can reach out to me as well, and I can share it there as well. But again, lastly, thank you again to all the educators and district officials and everyone that we have with us in the session for availing their time and being here with us this afternoon. The chats now will be closed, but if you have other questions, you can also direct them through to me. Those educators have my details as well, if you need any other assistance. Okay, that's all from me. If there's nothing else, I hope everyone has a great afternoon. Thank you, Liga. I see your message in the chat. And have a great afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I think that's good.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Bye, Jackson. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you so much for this.